Keanu Reeves is on a high-budget movie set, filming an intense action scene. Explosions go off, stunt performers jump, and the crew works quickly. Cameras capture every moment. The director yells, "Cut," and the scene ends. Keanu takes a deep breath and steps aside for a break. He grabs a water bottle and sits down to rest. The set remains busy, but he enjoys a quiet moment. From the shadows, a thin, dirty stray dog steps forward. Its fur is matted, its ribs visible, and its eyes wild with fear. The dog looks weak, yet its stance is aggressive. It snarls, baring sharp teeth, and its body trembles as if it is both terrified and ready to fight. Keanu freezes, locking eyes with the animal. Something about its gaze feels strange, like it's not just angry, but desperate. The crew quickly notices the dog, and a wave of panic spreads. People step back, gasping in shock. A production assistant screams, knocking over a light stand in fear. Without warning, the dog lunges at Keanu, teeth snapping. Keanu reacts instinctively, jumping back just in time to avoid a bite. The set erupts in chaos. A camera operator stumbles, dropping his equipment. The director shouts for security, his voice barely cutting through the noise. Two security guards rush in. One reaches for a baton, the other a tranquilizer gun. "Get back, sir," one of them shouts at Keanu. The dog snaps and growls, backing away slightly but still ready to attack. It looks terrified, trapped in an unfamiliar world of lights and loud sounds. Keanu raises his hands, signaling the guards to stop. "Wait," he says, his voice calm but firm. The dog's body stiffens. Its growling slows, as if confused by Keanu's lack of fear. The guards hesitate, waiting for Keanu's next move. Keanu looks closer at the dog. There's something familiar about its eyes. Not just anger, not just hunger, but pain, betrayal, and sadness. His heart pounds as a memory stirs deep inside him. The dog twitches, its breathing heavy. The set is silent now, all eyes on this tense moment. Keanu takes a slow step forward. The guards tense, ready to act, but he lifts a hand, stopping them. "Easy, buddy," Keanu says softly. The dog flinches at the word. It lowers its head slightly, still growling but less aggressively. Keanu crouches, making himself smaller, less threatening. The dog's snarls fade into soft whimpers. For a long moment, nothing happens. Then, the dog takes a shaky step forward. Its tired eyes flicker with something: recognition? Hope? Keanu's chest tightens. "It's you, isn't it?" he whispers. The dog stops growling. A painful past is about to be uncovered. Keanu raises his hand, signaling the security guards to stop. "Wait," he says firmly. The guards exchange glances but hold their positions, gripping their batons tightly. The set, once filled with chaos and shouting, suddenly falls silent. All eyes are on Keanu and the stray dog. The dog stands frozen, its body tense and ready to attack. Its eyes flicker with something beyond fear, something deeper. Keanu takes a slow breath, studying the animal closely. There is something familiar in those eyes. He doesn't know why, but his heart pounds as if it remembers something his mind hasn't caught up with yet. The dog growls again, but it is weaker this time. It hesitates. Its breathing is heavy, its legs slightly shaking. It looks confused, torn between fight and flight. The bright lights, the unfamiliar voices, and the large group of people watching, it's all too much. But something about Keanu's presence makes it pause. Keanu takes a careful step forward. The security guards react instantly. "Sir, it's dangerous," one of them warns, ready to pull him back. Keanu doesn't listen. His focus is locked on the dog. "I know you," Keanu whispers, his voice barely audible. The dog's ears twitch. For the first time, it stops baring its teeth. Its eyes soften, just for a second, before they harden again. There is a battle happening inside the animal, fear fighting against something deeper, something buried. Keanu lowers himself to the ground, making himself smaller, less threatening. He remembers a trick he once learned: never show dominance, never show fear. Let them come to you. The dog doesn't move. It stares at Keanu, panting heavily. Its body remains stiff, but its tail flicks slightly. A tiny, almost unnoticeable sign of uncertainty. Keanu swallows hard. A memory is trying to surface, but it's blurry, just out of reach. He studies the dog's face, its eyes, the small scar above its right brow. And then, it hits him. His breath catches in his throat. Years ago. A rainy night. A small puppy, cold and shaking in his arms. A promise made to keep it safe. And then one day, it was gone. Keanu's lips part, his voice breaking as he says, "Buddy?" The dog flinches as if struck by lightning. It knows that name. Its body stiffens, its breathing uneven. The set is deathly quiet, as if time itself has stopped. For a moment, the dog looks as if it will run. Its legs twitch, its claws scraping against the floor. But something holds it there. Something buried deep in its heart, a memory, a connection, a bond that was never truly broken. Keanu's eyes well with emotion. "It's you, isn't it?" he whispers. The dog blinks. And in that moment, recognition shines through the fear. Keanu's heart races as he looks at the dog. Something about those eyes feels too familiar. His mind searches through old memories, trying to understand why he feels this connection. The way the dog flinched at his voice, the slight hesitation before attacking, it all feels strange. Then, a memory starts to surface. Years ago, on a cold rainy night, Keanu was walking home when he heard soft whimpers from a dark alley. He followed the sound and found a small, injured puppy shivering in a corner. Its fur was soaked, its body weak, and it had a tiny wound above its right eye. The same scar the stray dog in front of him has. Keanu remembers kneeling down, gently picking up the puppy, and wrapping it in his jacket. The little dog was scared, but it didn't resist. He took it home, dried it, and gave it food. The puppy was weak but full of life. It wagged its tail for the first time after eating, looking up at Keanu with eyes full of trust. He had named it Buddy. For months, Buddy had been by his side. They had become inseparable. Every morning, the puppy would follow Keanu around the house, excited and full of energy. Even on tough days, Buddy had a way of making everything feel better. But then, one terrible day, Buddy disappeared. Keanu had searched everywhere. He had put up posters, asked neighbors, and even checked shelters. But Buddy was gone, as if he had vanished into thin air. For years, Keanu had wondered what happened. Had someone taken him? Had he run away? Was he hurt? The questions never stopped, and the pain never fully faded. And now, standing in front of him, snarling and shaking with fear, was the same dog he lost all those years ago. Keanu's throat tightens. He can barely breathe as he kneels down. The crew watches in stunned silence. The security guards remain on alert, ready to act, but Keanu doesn't care. With a trembling voice, he whispers, "Buddy." The dog freezes. Its growl fades into a confused whimper. Its ears twitch at the name. Keanu sees it, the moment of recognition in Buddy's eyes. A flicker of something lost, something buried deep under years of pain and survival. For a moment, it seems like Buddy will run, like the fear is too much. But instead, his body trembles, his breathing heavy, and his tail gives the slightest, almost unnoticeable wag. Keanu's eyes fill with emotion. He slowly reaches out, his hand steady. It's okay, buddy. I found you. Buddy blinks. His body softens, and the walls he built for survival begin to break. The dog stands still, its body shaking. The growling has stopped, but its breathing is still heavy. Its eyes, once filled with anger, now show something else: confusion, hesitation, and a deep, buried longing. Keanu doesn't move too quickly. He knows that one wrong move could send Buddy running or make him lash out again. But he also knows that this isn't just any stray dog, this is Buddy, his lost friend. Keanu slowly kneels on the ground, lowering himself to Buddy's level. His voice is soft, full of emotion. "I'm so sorry, Buddy. I never stopped looking for you." Buddy flinches at the words. His ears twitch, and his tail gives a tiny, hesitant wag, a sign of recognition, of something deep inside trying to remember. Keanu swallows hard. "I thought I lost you forever," he continues. "I don't know what happened, but I know you've been through so much." Buddy's eyes flicker with something painful, as if he understands Keanu's words. His body trembles, his legs weak. He doesn't snarl anymore. He doesn't back away. Instead, he just stands there, looking at Keanu with wide, tired eyes. Keanu reaches out, slow and steady. He knows Buddy has suffered. He doesn't know what the dog has been through, but he knows it couldn't have been easy. Years of survival, loneliness, and fear, all of it is written in Buddy's scars, in his tired eyes. "Come here, boy," Keanu whispers, his voice breaking slightly. Buddy takes a step forward. Then another. His paws are unsteady, his breathing uneven. For a second, it looks like he might turn and run. But then, something changes. Buddy collapses into Keanu's arms. The entire set is silent. No one speaks. No one moves. The aggressive, snarling stray dog is gone. In his place is a lost soul who has finally found home. Keanu wraps his arms around Buddy, holding him tightly. His fingers run through the dirty, matted fur, but he doesn't care. "You're safe now," he whispers. "I've got you." Buddy lets out a deep, shaky breath. His body melts into Keanu's embrace, surrendering completely. His tail gives one slow, final wag, this time, not out of uncertainty, but out of trust. Keanu feels his own eyes well up. This is real. Buddy is real. And after all these years, he's finally back. A single tear rolls down Keanu's cheek as he whispers again, "I found you, Buddy." And this time, Buddy doesn't flinch. He doesn't run. He just rests, knowing he's home. The set is completely silent. No one moves. No one speaks. The once aggressive stray dog, who had been snarling and ready to attack just moments ago, now rests peacefully in Keanu's arms. His body, once stiff with fear, has softened. His breathing has slowed, and his tail gently wags, a sign that he finally feels safe. Keanu holds Buddy close, stroking his dirty, matted fur. He doesn't care about the dirt or the smell. All he cares about is the fact that Buddy is here. Alive. Safe. Home. His lost friend, after so many years, has finally found his way back. The director watches from behind the camera, his eyes wide. He sees the raw, real emotion in front of him. This isn't acting. This isn't part of the movie. This is something rare, something powerful. "This is the best moment I've ever seen," the director whispers. He turns to the camera crew. "Film this. We have to capture it." But Keanu doesn't care about the cameras. He doesn't even hear the director's words. Right now, nothing else matters except Buddy. The flashing lights, the crew members, the film set, all of it fades into the background. Keanu pulls back slightly to look into Buddy's tired eyes. The fear is gone. The pain, the loneliness, all of it has melted away. "You're coming with me," Keanu whispers. Buddy lets out a soft sigh, resting his head against Keanu's chest. For the first time in years, he is at peace. As the sun begins to set, Keanu stands up, still holding Buddy in his arms. He ignores the confused crew, the curious stares, the flashing cameras. He walks past them, his focus only on Buddy. Reaching his car, Keanu gently places Buddy in the back seat. The dog curls up instantly, his body relaxed. His eyes flutter closed as if he finally knows he doesn't have to fight anymore. Keanu slides into the driver's seat, looking at Buddy through the mirror. A soft smile touches his lips. "Let's go home, Buddy," he says. As Keanu drives away, the city lights start to fade behind him. The movie set, the chaos, the noise, none of it matters anymore. All that matters is the road ahead and the friend he thought he had lost forever. In the back seat, Buddy sleeps soundly. No fear, no pain, just peace. A man and his lost dog, reunited after years apart.